It's been a very stormy day today on the Abbey Road, so you'll have to bear with me. I think it's 16 mph winds, but they feel much more strong than that. But it's not just been the weather today. We received in the post Bruce Ritchie's notification of Bruce Ritchie's planning application for this block. Two planning applications. It's about 5:15. I don't quite remember what the date is. He's put in a planning permission, both of which I put on the front of the block. Planning permission 1 is the demolition of the existing garages to the rear of this block and the development of 2 mews houses plus a car stacker. The car stacker will be at the side of my flat and the 2 mews houses will be at the back of my flat. To the side of my flat, as if that wasn't enough, he's put in for planning for alterations to the ground floor flat next to me to provide a duplex cover over the ground and lower ground levels, and excavation to form an enlarged light well on the north elevation and a new light well on the east elevation, which roughly translates into development of the 2 fire escapes, lift shaft wells at the bottom of the fire escape. My flat is in the eye of the storm to come. There's nothing I can do about this. There's never been anything that I could possibly do. All I can do is continue to protest out here and hope that the party wall owners and the house owners on both sides in Marlborough Place and Blenheim Road will put in their objections. I noticed from the planning, a brief look at the planning's details, that one homeowner has looked round, been invited to look round Manor Apartments, and has said that everything is okay by him. I wonder why. Not all of them will behave as treacherously as that, and I'm sure that other party wall owners will be at the appeal, as I will at Barry. This is the proposed excavation proposal. Here he plans to put 2 mews houses and plant a car stacker where the bins are, but there's somebody there just at the moment and I don't want him in the film. By the bins he plans to put a car stacker. That will be at least 2 years more work, plus mews houses here, the roofs of which will be the same level as the top of my windows there. Apparently he's even got round the light objection. Somehow he's managed to increase my light. The noise, the fact that I'm living in a building site for years to come, and my fight on the Abbey Road against the existing building site. None of this will weigh in the balance or have any influence on the outcome of his plans, should he get this planning permission. I'm horrified by my neighbour. I don't know which one it is, but I'm completely horrified by his compliance. It's so unexpected. I didn't think anyone so near, I think it's number 4, would want the noise disruption. It's been a very stormy day. the police have been at the corner of Blenheim Road. Some major crime going on somewhere just on the next corner from here. Lots of police on the ground, but we don't know what that's about. Stretching all the way to St John's Wood Station, or so I've been told. Turning into quite a lively little stretch on the Abbey Road. I'm devastated, but I'm trying to stay calm, trying to keep together, because I want Bruce Ritchie to know that he's going to have a fight on his hands, and I'm going to be out there for the whole of the duration. It's turning into the property developer, the poet and the property developer, or the pensioner and the property developer, the pensioner and the billionaire property developer. We've all had these notices. The postman has told me about the notices that he's delivered all around this area. The tenants in flat 3 don't seem to know anything about their coming eviction. This will bury me. If these plans go ahead, it will bury me. There'll be no more writing done from my window. I'll have a terrace where the people in the Mews houses can be out, sunning themselves, while I just look on. My view gone, and nothing but barbecues to look onto, and their lives, from my window, from every window of my flat. I don't want 2 Mews houses in front of me. I don't want this development, this car stacker. I don't want the duplex to the right of me. It will be to my left from the back. That's going to go from the ground floor to the basement, and will wipe out the garden for the other tenants. They had hoped for a nice garden to be made out of this, the little bit of land that's called an abutment. But no, it's all going to be swept away by Bruce Ritchie's plans to claw even more money out of this block. It's so unfair that we have no say. It's so unfair that my life has to be destroyed in this way so that Bruce Ritchie can make his millions. I'm a pensioner on pension credits. I'm a poet of 30 years standing, and there is nothing that I can do to stop this. They say an Englishman's home is his castle. In America they fight to the death to protect that right, the right to defend their home. Yet there's nothing I can do. I'm going to be buried alive, completely entrenched on all sides. On every side, a circle completed round my flat. And Bruce Ritchie dares to say to me, while he was digging for soil samples at Christmas for this proposed development of a car stacker, that my flat, the break-in at my flat wasn't an inside job, when you know full well, Bruce, it was an inside job. It was meant to drive me away from this flat so that you could get your hands on flat 4. The most chilling part of all this that one of my neighbours uncovered in the proposed plans was a duplex development at the back of 2 flats. 2 duplex developments, one of which was my flat. It seemed to anticipate that I didn't live there anymore, and that was as early as May this year. Presumably he thought that my ruptured bowel had done for me, and that he could go in and finish me off and drive me away, fill me with sheer fright about break-ins. But Westminster Council kindly put grills against all my windows. There won't be any more break-ins. All he can do now is shoot me, and they'll know where to come, won't they? He would be the first port of call, and I'm not afraid of Bruce Ritchie. I'm not afraid to stand there for the whole of the duration of this development. I'm fighting for the right to live in my home in peace, which is given to us under the European Convention. But we can't go to law over this. All we can do is put placards up and rely on the public for their support. A wonderful public, I might say, who do watch the YouTube videos about life on the Abbey Road. I have wonderful neighbours, PCSO Lee and his fellow PCSO are wonderful people who come by and talk to me sometimes and gave me some support this morning. I'll be buried alive by this. God knows how long it will take to dig out the car stacker. It's more of small comfort to me that the car stacker will be relatively silent while the cars are stacked into it. But Bruce Ritchie will make sure that the cars from Car Club and other hire firms will add to that toll of misery. The garages have been off limits for the whole of the time he's had this block. The tenants have never been allowed to use them. The building materials are not housed in the garages, and until last year the garages housed detritus from his other blocks, which were cleared out last Friday in order to facilitate his plans for the Muse houses at the back of this block. I will lose my view. I will lose the trees that I've looked out on for 28 years. He thinks it's a pushover. It probably is, unless my neighbours round about go to the planning appeal and put in their objections. And there's still nothing that we can do. Absolutely nothing. But I'll be out there for the whole of that time. I'm not writing anyway, thanks to you, Bruce Ritchie. I'll be out there campaigning, come what may. However cold it gets, I'll be there on the Abbey Road, telling the world about Bruce Ritchie and his plans. One of my neighbours is just returning. She's in blissful ignorance of what is about to happen. Thank you for listening.